Franchise Sports Media!
What's going on, fight fans? Thank you guys for tuning in to another edition of the main event right here on Franchise Sports Media. I'm Kalani Lua.
I'm Griff and Kemp.
Griff, my man.
What's up?
UFC 300.
We're here.
The big one.
We're here.
300.
Yes,
it's
sir.
going down. Las Vegas, T-Mobile Arena, stack card, 12 former, two current, former champions on this card. What were you saying before? Like, what was the number? Like 10%?
Something crazy. Like 10% of all UFC champions in the history of the organization are on this card.
This card
fighting
right
on
here.
Saturday night.
Mind-blowing. To have that much on there, every part of it, prelims, pre-prelims, pre-prelims to the main card, all have somebody on there that's held UFC gold before. It is going to be phenomenal. The matches are amazing.
Yes,
Let's jump right into it. The main event, which was announced,
Yep.
former light heavyweight champion Jamal Hill will be going after his title that he never lost
He never lost it.
against the boogeyman himself,
Botan.
Alex Pereira.
Yes, sir. Yes,
What are your
sir.
thoughts on a two-division champion making his first title defense against the man that never lost his belt? Griff.
Yeah, you know, this fight got a lot of heat when it first got announced. A lot of it had to do with there was somebody else people had in mind that was going to be the headliner.
We'll get to that.
Didn't end up happening. But at the end of the day, people need to start being a little more grateful. Be grateful for what the UFC and Uncle Dana are giving us. Because right now, you got or can I say arguably the scariest man on the UFC roster in Poatan.
Very, very, very possible, yes.
Taking on another one of these unfortunate champions at light heavyweight who lost the belt in very weird circumstances.
Injuries.
Really, really weird injuries, exactly. But now Jamal's coming back. He's fully recovered. It's going to be his first fight since winning the belt against Glover Teixeira, seems like years ago.
And who's Glover Teixeira's teammate?
His old Poatan's coach.
A certain champion right now standing across. So it is going to be interesting.
It will be. It's fire, too. I remember back during that fight, there was a moment in the cage after Glover and Jamal got done fighting. Alex Pereira was kind of looking, because, you know, he's in Glover's. He's sizing him up.
Yep.
He said, all right, you beat my coach. I remember this. Well, I'm going to settle this.
You beat my sensei. Now I must regain our honor. I feel like like you said to begin, when this fight was announced, only because it's UFC 300 and the UFC had waited so long to make the announcement on what the main event was, the anticipation, they could have told us Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg were finally going to fight, and it still wouldn't have felt like, that's not the one we wanted, right?
Right.
But this is a very good fight. I believe if this fight was announced earlier as the main event, it would have been much more well received. But nonetheless, I think as time has gone on, people realize we're getting ourselves a banger.
This is a banger.
These are two guys who love to strike. Tremendous power and volts. Hill loves to be aggressive. He's a tall guy, has very good reach, power in his hands, but he's not afraid to go out there and let it fly, as we saw when he took the title away from Glover Teixeira. He's not afraid to go out there. Believe he did that in Brazil.
I think it was. So
he's not afraid to go out there into enemy territory, into the lion's den, and say, you want the big fight? I'll be your Huckleberry.
Oh, yeah.
But then, like you said, you got Pereira looking at him. Stone cold killer face. Like, okay, you're next.
You're next.
So I'm very curious to see how this one goes. Pereira, tall, efficient striker with his kickboxing background. Here's what I'm a little concerned about. We've seen him get rocked twice and put to sleep by Izzy Adesanya.
Yeah.
Izzy don't hit as hard as Hill. Now, granted, you could say because he was cutting down the middleweight, dehydrating himself, that he wasn't able to rehydrate enough to the point where he was able to be at full strength to take those strikes. But he takes some of those from Hill. Oh, it's going to be night-night season for old Pereira.
I like that point. But here I'll combat it with this. I think I'll give you this. Jamal Hill let's say he has more punching power than Izzy. He's not the deadly sniper that Izzy is. He's not the deadly sniper that Pereira is. But these boys having that kickboxing background, the art of striking, they've perfected it. They know how to strike. They know how to hit you. They know how to set things up. So his striking, and I think we saw that when he fought Glover Teixeira, him and Jamal Hill. Jamal came at Glover, and Glover, outside of his fights with to gain the belt. Like Glover is much more bulkier, bigger dude, more of a wrestler. But when he was striking, it was just like that type of big body, just boom, big bombs left and right. Jamal kind of met up with him, and I think Jamal was a little bit more of a sniper than Glover was. But I think in this fight, the biggest concern is, can Jamal Hill keep up with Alex Pereira and the amount of striking. And when Pereira comes out there and he's able to find those moments and he's able to find those openings, is Jamal going to be able to combat with, let's say, the speed? Can he have the speed to combat the fact that Pereira is coming here with such a long reach, such a long guy? He can strike, and it looks half the time he can hit you if you guys are like halfway across each other from the octagon.
But you know what? At the same, and that's a very good point. But I think with Hill, his unorthodox way and going out there could be a benefit to him. Because now, how do you truly prepare for that? That's what makes guys who come from kickboxing, Lyoto Machida and Stephen Thompson from karate, or guys who just have unorthodox styles that you do not see everywhere. So it makes them a bit tough. How do you prepare for that? Yeah, I'm a legit, well-established kickboxer. My technique is second to none.
Right.
But now I'm taking on a guy who's got power, some speed, height, and length, and he's unorthodox. So now you look at it and say, okay, if my hands are down, like we've seen in every fight that Pereira's been in, he gets caught with an overhand right or a looping left. Who's to say that isn't the one to start the beginning of the end for him, for Hill? I think Hill's advantage would be being unpredictable.
Yeah.
The fact that he can come in there and not, now what he has to do, in my opinion, is he cannot allow Pereira to find his footing by coming forward. He has to press Pereira and keep him off balance. Now, he doesn't have to go full on, I'm coming at you fully. A little bit of coming at you, a little bit stepping back, a little bit moving around, then a little bit coming at you. Keep Pereira from really finding his range, because as you pointed out, Pereira's got so many tools in his toolbox that if he gets a chance to line you up, it's just like that bow and arrow he does with his entrance. He's going to pull the trigger. And oftentimes, as we've seen, not many guys can stand up to it. So I love this balance of technique. I love this balance of power and this balance of, okay, who's going to be able to enforce their will more? Hill or Pereira. It's going to be interesting to see. We'll get into predictions at the end.
Yeah, we'll do predictions.
I love this particular matchup between the two. I think it'll be a phenomenal fight.
I think what's interesting, too, is when you're looking at this, and especially the last few fights Pereira has had now, I mean, if you're in his corner, if you're in Poaton's corner, who are you more nervous about? Are you more nervous when he went and fought Yuri? Are you more nervous than when he went and fought Jan Blachowicz? Or are you worried more now that he's about to fight Jamal Hill? It's like that entire time of span where we were sitting here and we were talking about the light heavyweight division and everything going on. It's crazy to see Alex Pereira coming in and kind of cleaning everything up now.
Well, I mean, you know, it's what he's able to do. He's able to come in there and pick these guys off one by one. Whether some are a little bit older or some just coming off injuries and not as rusty. Maybe he lost the last one in a very close decision. I don't know. But it's I think nervousness, that goes in every single fight. It's
of course.
every single one. So, Griff, let's jump into the co-main event.
Yep.
Why don't you bring out who we got here in the women's strawweight division for the titles, and then we'll jump into it.
All right. The fact that I'm brave enough to say these names, I hope my credibility doesn't take a hit.
A whole lot better than me.
Okay, we got the champion of the women's strawweight division, Zhang Weili. She now faces 18-3 Xiaonan Yan. Yan Xiaonan? Yang Xiaonan. I think that's the right pronunciation. Again, we're not the ones you want to look to if you want correct, pronunciation. We just appreciate these women and their craft.
I went to public school in the inner city. Sue me.
Same dude. That's that CCSD education there, boy.
You was up in Utah with the Mormons. Y'all but
it's true.
Why don't you go ahead and tell it? I'll start first.
Go ahead.
This is a very unique matchup right here. I love it because these are two warriors. These are two gladiators. These two ladies have shown throughout their career they will bring the fight to you. We talked about Pereira having all the tools in the toolbox. These two right here exemplify that. You want to go to the ground? Oh, I got you. You want to stand and trade? I got you as well. You want to go the distance and go to the final bell? I got you as well. For Wang Zhili, we've talked about her training regimen and how we've seen her where it's like, am I looking at a real-life Marvel Avenger here? But now you got Jan coming in and saying, whoa, wait a minute now. I'm from the Justice League. And I'm using movie references here, but it's so true. These two, to me, are very well matched up that I think potentially, depending on how this goes, I think we could see a rematch somewhere down the road, if not a trilogy. I think these two, if they fought 100 times, we could see 51-49, 52-48, 50-50. Like, I don't think the gap between them is so far apart that one time is enough. We need to see these two again fighting each other. That's how good I think this matchup is between the two. When they announced it, I was very excited. We know the women come to bang, but I'm very excited to see who we talk about in enforcing your will. Who's going to be able to do that here? Who's going to come up with a game plan to throw the other one off because they're so well balanced and matched up against each other?
Absolutely. I mean, you got two women fighting, both born from out here in China. Two Chinese women fighting for a UFC title. I don't know if that's ever been done before. That might be a history maker right there in itself. But I think I agree with you. I think especially when you go down, regardless of gender, both the men's and the women's, when you go down the divisions, especially those lighter weights, it seems like the lighter weights seem to struggle to have a plethora of these contenders. It's usually, when we had Brandon Moreno versus Deiveson Figueiredo, there's a reason they went 4 fights for the title. It's because every
fight was awesome.
Every fight was awesome. Both of them were competitive, but at the same time, there was a lot of nobody else was doing the groundwork to really throw their name in there as well.
Hold on. Let me just combat you real quick.
Go ahead.
What happened when Moreno made his first title defense?
He made his first title defense. Okay.
What happened when he made his second title defense? He lost it.
So
understand.
It's interesting for
just
sure.
Just like we talked about the light heavyweight division, and you brought this up several times. I'll give you credit.
Yeah.
Yes, it may not seem that there's a clear-cut winner.
Mm-hmm.
There's always somebody working in the background that says, "I'm coming for you."
There's always someone coming up.
Talia Santos, who almost upset Valentina Shevchenko.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's nobody out there for her. She's gonna run through this girl. Damn near got upsetted.
She did.
So because you got to think about this too, and I don't mean to cut you off, but just think about this real quick. Sometimes when you're a dominant champion, you get that in your mind, so you may overlook your next opponent. Oh, John Jones, Alexander Gustafsson. Oh, the only reason they ain't hyping him up is because he's tall. I'm gonna run through this dude. I think I'm gonna do pretty well. Just trained 2 weeks, and it is what it is. We'll get into John Jones stuff later on.
Stop breaking the law, dude.
But sometimes when you are that type of champion, you got to think you're the one with the target on your back. Everybody in that division is training to beat you. So when that day comes, remember when one of the guys on this card, Cody Garbrandt, finally fought Dominic Cruz. Mm-hmm. I've been in 4 training camps with my teammates to prepare them for you. So I'm prepared for you already because now I'm going into my 5th camp, but I'm the one facing you. So I've been studying your moves, mimicking your moves. I know what you're going to do. Hence why when he fought Dom, he was able to do the ole and all this and yada-da, yada-da, yada-da.
The most disrespectful. Absolutely.
But it's because he was fully prepared. For Wayne Zhang Lee, she's been the target for quite a while in that division. Whether she has the title down, she was always top 3. So now you got to figure for someone like Jan, she's been preparing, knowing at some point she was going to fight this young lady.
That is true. But I mean, it's going to be fire either way. If we know anything from, especially the strawweight division, with the women's strawweight division in the UFC, bangers. They fight like just junkyard dogs, and it's amazing every single time they do. So I think, again, when it comes to when the matchmakers were making up this entire card, it would be disrespectful. And I'm not seeing too many women. We don't get too many women matchups right now on this card for UFC 300. I think, though, when it comes down to it, they made the right choice in making sure the women were represented correctly.
Oh, they knew what they was doing. They knew the one was going to be a banger. Might even steal the show. They knew what they was doing. I love it.
Absolutely.
Griff.
Now the big one.
You said bangers.
Uh-huh.
You said fire.
Yeah, I did.
I'm too excited. Can you announce the next card?
In the 3rd rendition of the BMF title, the Bad Money, 2 men will step in the octagon, both at lightweight. One is a regular at lightweight. The other one dabbled. He dabbled, but he doesn't dabble when it comes to absolutely throwing yucks and shedding blood. We have the current BMF champion, Justin the Highlight Gaethje, taking on.
Who's he taking on, Griff?
Oh, the only one who's worthy of it, the blessed one himself, Max Holloway. Come on, boy.
808, baby. We coming for you. You want dirty lickings? We coming for you. You got this stank eye? Want to stand with me? You want to throw some? We got it, boy. We going to go down to Zippies after this. Holloway, me, Gaethje. Let's go, baby. We going at it.
How do you get mad? How do you get mad at any decision that was made for this card and say that it's underperforming, they're robbing us, they're not giving us what we want? When you got this fight on the card, this fight is phenomenal. This card is needed. This card is what the fans and we all deserve.
Yes.
Come on, kid. Come on.
And what's on the line?
What's on the line?
What's on the line? No. What title's on the line?
The BMF title.
Now, you're the same person that sat your narrow ass there in that seat and said, they're going to make a title. What's it for? What are they going to do with it now? Well, we're going to have to defend the title. Doesn't make any sense. Wah. Now look at you. You're drinking the Kool-Aid. You're sipping it down.
Oh, I'm chugging it. I'm chugging it.
Down. Come on now.
Come on.
Look at you enjoying yourself. Because I told you, when they put this title on line, they will make sure whoever is standing there is going to be in the line of, that's a bad mother. Shut your mouth. But I'm talking about Max. You got Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway. Now, Max, second time at lightweight. First time, not so good against Dustin Poirier. That's all right, though. He's got a little bit more time to put the weight on. A little bit more time.
Oh, and he's looking big.
Have some spam musubis.
He's looking.
You know what I'm saying? Have some katsu chicken. You know, eat some rice. That's what we Polynesians do. Now he's able to go out there, full camp, properly put the weight on. And now he's taking on the guy in Gaethje who, one, let's just give Gaethje his flowers. His look phenomenal. His last few fights. Head kick knocking out Dustin Poirier. Bastard. But nonetheless, he's looked tremendous. Listening to his coach, changing up his style. We know he's got the power. We know he's got the leg kicks. We know he's aggressive, and we know he looks for the head highlight reel and finish.
Yes.
But the fact that he now isn't just coming at you blind, spitting in the wind, and saying, no, I'm actually going to put a game plan together. Ooh.
Can I tell you what I love most? Obviously, the matchup itself, just on paper, phenomenal, amazing. What's crazy, though, is if you look in the background of both these gentlemen, first off the bat, Max Holloway, he's not a lightweight. Like you just said, he's gone up there once to go fight Poirier. There was a whole thing there where he tried to fight Khabib back when Khabib had the belt, but now he's coming up to lightweight, and it's almost like your question, what are you, Max? We love it. Thank you for being the kind of fighter you've always been. It doesn't matter if it's a fight night or headlining a pay-per-view card. Max is down to clown.
Matter, bro. On the
always
island,
down.
We scrap.
Always.
We scrap on the island.
Exactly.
We scrap on the island.
And Max ain't no different. Max is always down for the scrapper.
Yes.
And then you look at Gaethje. Yeah, if I'm Justin Gaethje, I'm almost thinking to myself, I'm a little angry. I'm like, thank you for continuing to, the UFC. Thank you for helping me to keep expanding this history, this legacy that is the Justin Gaethje career, because he's gotten into fights with Dustin Poirier, get the BMF belt, took on Rafael Fiziev, a young, hungry up-and-comer, passed that test. Now he's going to fight Max. But now you got this whole situation with, what does this mean for the lightweight division and the title contention? What does this mean for if Justin Gaethje beats Max? Is there another fight where and we're going to talk about another fight that's going to have that right after this. There's a lot on the line. Lightweight, I got to walk back a comment I made a few weeks ago. The lightweight division is and still is the most exciting division in the UFC.
It is.
It just still is.
It's a great problem to have all these different options. Well, I just had Dustin Poirier show us that he still got plenty of thread left on the tire.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see what Gaethje does. Do not discredit Max Holloway coming up there, giving him dirty lickings, bruh. And then you throw in who we going to talk about next and how that plays out and what can happen on there. So it's a great problem to have.
It is.
Gotta love and respect my brother from the islands, Max Holloway. He has said and he has backed it up. I'll fight whoever I need to fight. Whatever it is. I'll throw an extra shirt on if I need to be heavier. It does not matter. That's what we scrap about. And that is why fans love this dude. Not only because he's such a great fighter, but because it's authentic, but also he's willing to go in there and fight anybody. I just wish Max maybe did this a fight or two ago. I love this. I do. Because, like I've said before on the show, when you get to a certain point in the division, and let's just say, hey, I can't beat the champion. It is what it is. Dude, you beating everyone else. What are you doing now? Just taking on all the up-and-comers? These young dudes ain't playing around. They going to come for your neck. Because like I said before, when you are the guy as long as Max Holloway was at featherweight, you are the guy, all these young guys coming up, we're looking at it as, I might have to fight Max one day. That's the champion I'm going to have to beat. Now, Volkanovski came over from rugby and said, Aussie, took the title away from you, but everyone's working for you. So now, these young dudes is looking at it like, you're one of the guys I've been training for. So when I fight you, I'm not fighting Max Holloway for the first time. I might be fighting you for like the third or fourth time because of all the training camps. Now you go to lightweight. Ooh, now you got a whole bunch of new matchups. Breath of fresh air. Look at Dustin Poirier. He looked okay at featherweight. Moved up to lightweight. His career has looked completely different. Completely different. He's almost looked like now he's a Hall of Famer. Probably will be because of all of his accomplishments. But I'm just saying, his move to lightweight finally, he looks so much better physically, mentally, and also fight-wise. I think for Max Holloway, this is a great opportunity for him to say, I did what I did at 145. Let me test myself at 55. See how I do up here with the bigger boys.
So you think this is a permanent move for Max?
I hope so. I really do, just because what's at 145? There's somebody who moved up to 45. We'll talk about later.
Yeah.
But, okay, that's like the only one, though. Yeah, okay, maybe Henry Cejudo, Sean O'Malley, maybe. But look, those are guys at 35 needing to move up. There's nobody left at 45, I feel, for Max to go up against anymore.
I mean, you got the current reigning champion of the featherweight division, talking about, oh, he's not the crooked nose of Max Holloway. Those are his words exactly before he went and beat Volk for the belt. I mean, you're telling me if the BMF champion says, nah, I just won the belt off of a heavier guy, I just did the heavier load and I came out victorious, you're telling me he doesn't want to use all that momentum he's got from this win to maybe go back down and get that old belt of his?
Oh, I mean, first off, that dude is too scared to even step in the same continent as Max Holloway. He says all that while he's way over there watching football, eating chips and salsa. He won't say that around Max Holloway because he knows, brother. He knows. He gets the smack. We don't play that nonsense. Max is respectful, but don't you dare disrespect. I'll tell you what, that seems nice. I'd love to see Max just stay where he's at. Unless he's guaranteed a title shot at Ilia Topuria. Unless he's guaranteed that with the win, I would just say stay at 155, man. You done what you done? Just like I said with John Jones before. Oh, fight this guy. There's always going to be the next guy. At some point, you have to move on with your career and find new challenges.
It's so complicated. This fight is so great, but it complicates so many things, not just at lightweight, but at featherweight too. I mean, if Max wins, does he now absorb all the hype and contention that Justin Gaethje was carrying this whole time?
I mean, it's tough.
I mean, if you're Dana White, if I'm Dana myself, I think, honestly, I'm telling Max, if he wins this fight, hey, listen, just so we can, get the train, keep moving with our lightweight division, I'll offer you the fight with Ilia right now. Just please go back down because right now he's the underdog. Max is sitting as the underdog in this fight.
First time up there, Gaethje's the more natural lightweight, powerful. He's got the momentum going, beating the Fizie's, Poirier. He's got that momentum behind him, so of course. But guess what? If Holloway beats him, there's a rematch with Dustin Poirier still sitting there. They both trying to figure out what's next. They're both trying to figure out what's next. There's a certain fight underneath this that we're going to get to next. Yeah. Maybe you take on the winner of that that can determine it out. There might be a certain fella coming back. He was down in Sarasota, Florida for a little bit, taking on a former MMA fighter at a bar, at a dive-in bar for a little bit.
Yep.
Who's to say he don't come out and say, hey, you can fight him? At some point, y'all fought before. I'm just saying. So there are options up here. That's why I said this is a great problem to have.
These are great problems I have right here.
I look forward to it. It's going to be a tremendous fight. BMF title, Gaethje, Holloway. Let's go.
Last thing I'll say about this, you being from the islands, you come from the culture. What did The Rock and Roman Reigns say this weekend at WrestleMania? The Mania? Am I saying that right?
Yes, yeah, you are saying it right.
So you're seeing a boy here, Max Holloway, as an underdog. He's going into the Lion's Den right now. He's going into the Lion's Den. I'm not going to say you're predicting Max or you're rooting for Max. We don't know yet. I'm not going to make that assumption. But if you were, does this matchup worry you at all? His opponent, does it worry you at all? Even though Max is known for never being knocked down, never being knocked out, never being finished. Are you a little bit scared? Are you a little nervous?
The only thing I'll be nervous about would be, Gaethje, how you want to be served up?
That's so confident. Those are fighting words.
No, in all seriousness, beforehand, Gaethje's leg kicks worry me. Because that's how Volkanovski beat Holloway the first 2 times with leg kicks. And Gaethje got a different set of leg kicks. I don't know what's in them damn legs, but they're different. And Max has that boxing style where he's very heavy on his front leg. So that's what worries me the most. He didn't switch a lot against Volkanovski. But I like that you said he's going into the Lion's Den. Mm-hmm. I like how you said it because you know what? He might be going to the Lion's Den. But a lion cannot run the storm. We are the storm! Max Holloway's bringing the storm, baby. And a lion cannot run the storm. Let's go!
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. You just got me hyped up even more than I already was. Let's move on here. And I want to do this announcement because I know the excitement. I'm feeling it from my partner here.
Christmas came early. The gifts keep on giving. Go ahead, Griff.
In the second fight.
Big name for last. Say the big name for last.
Say the big name for last. In the second fight of the main card, we have young, hungry, up-and-comer, Arman Tsarukyan. Sorry again. We apologize again. Tsarukyan.
Very tough.
21 and 3. Dangerous. 27, 28 years old, around that realm. He's young. He's hungry.
And he from that part of the globe where like fighting been in their blood. Like at 2, you already 3-1.
This boy comes straight from Russia. You know how they build him in Russia.
You know how they do it, but
chin strap and ready to go.
Ready to go. But you know what? You better bring that chin strap, and you better bring a lunch. You better bring Ivan Drago with you. You better see if Putin can get on a horse with you. Because who's he taking on, Griff? Who's he taking on?
Hey, even Khabib himself couldn't save Arman because now he faces the former lightweight champion himself, the man, the champion with a name, Dude Bronx. Charles Oliveira. Woo! Come on.
Boy, let me tell you something. It's Charles Oliveira fight week.
Talk to him.
One of the most exciting fighters ever. Most submissions in UFC history. Just think about that. I'm taking on the best of the best. And I've submitted to most of them. Made them tap out. Say, uncle, go to sleep even. That's who I'm fighting on. I'm taking on a guy in Bronx who has come from humble beginnings, street fights out there in the favelas of Brazil, to now living in mansions. He's about to welcome a son on the way, so he's got to go in there and get that payday.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me. Armin. Tough son of a gun. This is a legit matchup right here where you say, okay, can the young lion come up and take over the pride? Or is the older lion saying, no, buddy, no. This is still my flock right here. This is still my territory. You brought up earlier how Justin Gaethje fought
Rafael Fiziev.
Dustin
Poirier just got done beating God of War, Benoit Saint Denis.
So now you're looking at guys in lightweight already been there. Held a title of some sort or at least challenged for the title. Is it their time to move on? Well, now let's put them against these young lions. Two of the old bucks already showed, no, buddy. This is still our time here. We're still here. Now you look at someone like Charles Oliveira, getting the opportunity to go ahead and say, oh, let's make it 3 in a row. And by doing so, they already wanted to put Islam Makhachev against Oliveira.
They've been wanting that for a long time.
Now you got this one. So if Oliveira wins, I think he jumps right into the next shot at it. Now, Dustin Poirier's kind of been putting his name out there, and I think that fight is very interesting. But you throwing the fact of how Oliveira might win this one, I think he catapults himself right back into the title picture with Islam Makhachev. But I truly do believe this is going to be his toughest one. He's beating Justin Gaethje. He's beating Dustin Poirier. He's beating Michael Chandler. This is a tough son of a gun.
He's beating Beneil Dariush.
Excuse me. This is a tough son of a gun that he's going to be taking on right here. He's going to have to bring everything with him because we saw against Islam Makhachev, the strength, the wrestling, and the ruthless aggression, I would say, from Islam was a bit much for Oliveira. Now, you could say he had an off night. They were in Saudi Arabia. This is in Las Vegas. Whatever the case may be. I'm excited and thrilled. I didn't even do the damn. I should have did my hair right. But I'm excited and thrilled to see my man, Charles Oliveira, back in the cage. But good God, Armin is a tough son of a gun to go against.
He is. But here's the thing. I mean, you got guys like Justin Gaethje came out in an interview this week saying that, the way he sees this is going down is if he and Oliveira both get wins on Saturday night, then there's potential there to where he will face either Oliveira or he will face Armin, and the winner of that one could face Dustin Poirier. And then he almost made it make sense for how the odds maker.
Who's this again? I thought you said Dustin said this, but you said
no, my
Poirier.
bad. Gaethje said that the way he sees these fights going out, because he's got his fight with Max coming up. He knows Oliveira's on the card underneath him. Dustin Poirier just got a victory off of Saint Denis.
Yeah.
So he almost laid it out in a way where he was saying that the winner of whoever between these two fights, let's just say for argument's sake, it's Charles and Justin Gaethje, they both win. He laid it out in a way where he said those two men would then fight next, and then the winner would fight Poirier, which that makes it weird because then Poirier's gonna have to wait a little bit of while. But he kind of made it seem like no, all these lightweight contenders, all these guys who were whether coming fresh off wins or going into an upcoming really big fight, they all have to come together and make the decision of who really is deserving to go fight Islam. And then that begs the question, how long does Islam wait?
I mean, right now, he's just coming off Ramadan, which respect to him on that. So he's coming back looking to fight. I think he said he wants to maybe fight twice this year. Yeah. Maybe one time in the summer, then the end of the year. Maybe.
He needs to fight somebody, man.
But exactly. But here's what I think. I mean, one, I think it's a matter of, well, how do you win your fight? Do I give it to the guy that just etched out a close victory, gave me a decision win, but it wasn't that exciting to watch? Or do I give it to the guy that went in there and just laid it all on the line? We know how Dana White feels about guys who go out there and put it out. Not necessarily just rock them, sock them, but even be aggressive. You know what's on the line. For Gaethje and for Oliveira, and for Armin, I'll throw him in there as well.
Yeah.
Those three know what is awaiting them possibly is the next fight is going to be for the title. Possibly.
Right.
Do you not want to go out there and show why your name should be pulled out the hat? Do you not want to go out there and say, hey, tell Dustin, sit back and wait. Tell this Irishman and the buff American, they can wait. Tell this swole up Polynesian dude trying to come up to 155, yeah, you sit back and wait. One of us needs to take it forward. So to me, these three guys have to go with the mindset, I can't just win. I got to make it a performance of the night. I got to make it a highlight for it. I got to show my dominance. I got to enforce my will in such a way that you have no reason other than to give me the title shot. I have to make it without a shadow of a doubt. I'm the one that gets the shot. I'm the one in 21-1. Little reference there since he brought a wrestling before. You know WrestleMania was this weekend?
I did. I enjoyed if you guys haven't caught it yet, please check out our WrestleMania special show. These boys did a hell of a job. Even got a guy like me who has spat down on wrestling and the entire culture of it to actually take a second and say, this is actually kind of cool.
Thanks for kissing our ass, but you know we got a new champion?
I do. Cody Reigns?
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes. Listen. Cody Rhodes, man.
Do not be sad that Roman Reigns' historic title reign is over.
Yeah.
Be happy that it happened. There we go. So we got that. But I'm going to get into this. I almost called you the name. The next one, the opening fight of the main card.
Yeah.
Interesting one. We got Cody Brunage taking on the searching Bo Nickel. Penn State All-American.
Yep.
Undefeated in MMA.
Yep.
Looking to show these trim shad Russians that America is here to take back over. I don't got a good finish. I was trying to say I was going to say the ring, but it's not the ring. I was going to say the mat. Technically, it's a mat, but it's an octagon. But then it didn't. Bo Nickel's coming back to fight for America. America, buddy.
America.
Go ahead, Cody. But you got to get past Cody Brunage first.
You do have to get past Cody Brunage.
Bo Nickel. Talk about it, Griff.
This fight, I like Bo Nickel. I liked him when he first came out, and he, went on. Now he is sitting at 5-0. His last few fights have been weird. They've been really weird. It seems like the UFC wants to do with him what they did with Khamzat Chimaev and what they did with Sugar Sean O'Malley. Guys who they see the potential to be big stars, and they try to keep them on this path as making sure that they are aligned well with that.
So they don't want him to fight for 3 years?
No.
They did Khamzat?
No. Somehow Khamzat overcame that somehow. I don't know how he did.
Sure?
I think fighting a guy who was the former welterweight champion but came up to middleweight.
Oh,
somehow
you find the guy on 2 hours notice.
Yeah, I guess that gives you enough cachet.
To be able 2 hours notice in your backyard at that.
Yeah, exactly.
And you damn near lost.
When it comes to the character of Khamzat Chimaev, that we could have an entire show, a whole week of show talking about this man and where his career is going.
Talking about America.
But Bo Nickel, this fight got moved from the prelims up to the main event. And I believe it might have been Yuri Prochazka, his fight that got changed, got pushed down so that he could come up. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I think that.
Why not?
Because if it's to just be on this card, no matter where you land on here, the early prelims, main event, it doesn't matter. It's an honor. There's a reason that you're being selected to be on here. It's not just that you're a fighter in the UFC. A lot of guys and gals are on that roster. They're not fighting this Saturday night.
This is true.
So the fact that he's even on there, that's giving him enough. That's giving him enough respect because he is young. He's up and coming. He's got a little bit of a fan base building up and hype. But don't disrespect somebody like a Yuri Prochazka. To take him from the main event, throw him down, and just throw Boone. I mean, what is the advantage? What is the reasoning?
Okay. Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Well, we're taking Yuri's match, and we're making you the main event of the prelims. So before people tune in for the pay-per-view, if they're still a little on the edge of if they should buy it or not, you're the one that's going to convince them, yeah, I need to buy this pay-per-view because I need to see more fighters like him. Then I got a product, UFC 300. Big showcase it. Guess what you want to do with your product, Griff? Advertise your future stars. I got former champions already on here. I got Hall of Famers already on here. But if I show off one of my potential up-and-coming stars on the main card, imagine how his stock rises from there. Just like Sugar Sean O'Malley, just like Khamzat Chimaev, just like Conor McGregor, just like anybody else who has risen through the ranks. At some point, we're going to put you in a spot where maybe you're not the main event, but you're going to be on a card that if you go out there and do what we believe you can do and show your ass, guess what? You're shooting to the top with a rocket on you. So for me, I think it's smart to go ahead and put Bo Nickel on there, set the tempo early. Okay. And then you jump into it going forward. Have I convinced you?
Somewhat, but then here's another thing. Okay. His opponent, Cody Brundage. Mm-hmm. I've seen a few of his fights. Nothing crazy. I haven't seen anything that would be, he needs to be up there fighting, Sean Strickland or Dricus du Plessis, whoever holds the belt. Like, it's only a matter of time. I haven't seen anything like that from him. And especially Bo Nickel's last outing at UFC 290 against Valentine Woodburn. Mm-hmm. That fight was so goofy in the way that Bo Nickel, it almost seemed like going and he said, I'm going to prove that I can knock somebody out. Everyone just sees me as all-American wrestler, Penn State, but I want to knock him out. And it was just, it was so, his performance was great. He did get the knockout. He got the knockout. But
how fast was that knockout?
He got a knockout again. If same fight, but
how fast was the knockout?
He got it in about it was like 38 seconds.
So less than 40 seconds, I went out there with very little striking experience and knocked somebody out. And now you're telling me it was goofy, wonky. First off, it's 38 seconds. How much of that can you really take away? Your boy won a title and dethroned a legend in 13 seconds. Oh, the greatest ever. But now he does it in 38 seconds, and it was wanky, it was wonky, it didn't make any sense. Bullshit. Bo went out there and said, let me show y'all what I can do, how my skills continue to grow and expand. He did the same thing Hamza Chimaev did when he knocked out, was it Cody Sanhagen? When he knocked him out on TV, no one was expecting it. One right put him down, and all the hype became to grow for Hamza Chimaev and the Wolfgang, right? Now Bo Nickel does it. An American, you unpatriotic.
The guy he fought in freaking
Who's he supposed to fight,
Valentine Woodburn, that was his first fight in the UFC ever.
And who's Bo Nickel supposed to fight?
At 30 years old.
And who is Bo Nickel supposed to be fighting? Tom Aspinall? John Jones?
What my argument is saying, like the performance he had trying to knock him out, maybe he knew this is a guy who's entering his first UFC fight, and he's like, okay, I can risk things. I can play a little risky here and give a performance that's going to show I can knock people out. But at the same time, if he was fighting let's say just Bobby Knuckles, let's say you put him and Robert Whittaker.
He's 5 fights into his career.
I know. I'm itch pitch. I know. I'm being
Bobby
really.
Knuckles has more submission victories than 4.
I get that.
Come on, man. Like Griff. Come on, man. At some point, you got to also come to realization. I can't just put somebody at 5-0 and then that's 31, 12, and 7. No, I can't be doing none of that. And if I'm trying to showcase you, look, who's Conor McGregor's first 5 opponents in the UFC? Outside of Max Holloway, trash.
I think Poirier might have fallen into that realm too in the first 5 fights. But
was it the first 5?
I got to look back.
I don't know. Either way, that was 145 Poirier.
Yeah. Trash.
Who was John Jones' first 5 fights in the UFC?
Trash.
Who was first 5 fights in the UFC for Habib and Anderson Silva? Hold on. For Habib.
Holy
for Anderson Silva, no, his first 2 fights was against Rich Franklin, so I won't say that.
No, he's
I'm
legit.
just saying, when you first come in, he's not established anyplace else. He's not coming in from another organization like someone else on his card and being given a former champion. He's still working his way up to figure out this whole world of mixed martial arts. And you want him in there against Brock Lesnar or Frank Mir or Quentin Rampage Jackson or wherever else you want to do. That's asinine. That's a 9, that's a 10, that's a 11, that's a 12. Doesn't make any sense. You are being unpatriotic right now.
I'm being unpatriotic. I guess you're right. I'm being unpatriotic. The whole thing with the card lineup. And then you have to, it's one of these days, next time we get to sit down with a fighter, I want to talk about what importance does it for them where you land on a card. Obviously, everybody wants to be in the main card. Sure. But if you're in a spot where you're either the opening for the main card or a headliner for the prelims. Is there a difference there? Well, maybe a difference in pay, maybe a difference in, stature.
When we get a fighter on here, we could definitely ask and talk about it.
Well, it's coming soon.
So that is the main card. Let's go over the main card predictions real quick.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's go over that, then we'll run through the prelims.
Gotcha.
So, first card on the night, middleweight, Bo Nickel, Cody Brumage. I'm going for Bo Nickel.
I'm going Bo.
Okay. Lightweight, we're going with Armin taking on Charles Oliveira. I don't think I need to say it, but Oliveira. 2-2.
Well, here's the thing. Listen. We got 3 fights now at lightweight where the old dog got ahead of the young hungry pup. All right. Is it just you almost have to play the odds now? We're in Vegas, baby. We got to think a little bit about the betting odds. If you had to put money on it, are you betting for a third time in a year span, less than a year span, where the old dog gets the victory, and these young cats just cannot get it done and break through that barrier?
On this particular one, I'm betting with my heart. I'm going for Charles Oliveira. I ain't never picking against Oliveira.
You ain't never picking. Okay, I respect that.
I ain't never. Never, ever.
I never want to be seen as voting on the wrong side of history. I am going to pick Charles because Charles has proven he has not just had great big. Hold on, it's just something interesting to think about. But what I'm saying is, with Charles, he has had the career he's had, where it wasn't just that he's had all the success and had big wins and big fights. He also knows what it's like to kind of be seen as not great, as a lot of losses.
Yeah,
a lot of the underdog.
You should probably release him. Yeah,
exactly. Same thing when he lost to Islam and then fought Beneil Dariush. A lot of people are saying Beneil's gonna. This is finally.
He's gonna run through him. Charles is done. And what did he do?
He got him. The
BMF title, the baddest motherfucker on the planet.
Oh, I don't want to make this prediction.
is on the line.
I don't want to
Justin Gaethje, Max Holloway, Do I need to say it? Griff, you go first on who you picking.
Oh, I hate this. I gotta go Gaethje. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I gotta go Gaethje.
Don't be sorry.
Just the experience he has in this division and everything going into it, and especially him, Gaethje coming out and saying this is his last run for a title. That he knows that if he can't get it done this time, it's done. And if a loss on Saturday night to Max Holloway, you're losing the BMF belt and you're losing a chance to ever get that title as undisputed champion.
Well, the reason I told you not to be sorry is because we're already going to be sorry that we ended his last run for a title. Because the blessed one, Max Holloway, baby, coming to the 9th island. Max Holloway is going to be the new BMF champion.
Ooh.
Yeah, bro.
I can't wait to live in that world. I can't wait to live in a world where he's the BMF.
It's going to be fun. Co-main event, Griff. We got Zhang Weili defending her women's strawweight title against Xiaonan. How do you see this one going?
I'm not gonna lie to you. And a girl in Zhang Weili who's beating girls like Carla Esparza, who's beating Joanna Young Jay, who's been in fights with Joanna Young Jacek, Rose Namajunas. She knows what war is. She tastes war. She's not a stranger to it. So a girl with her stature, like the current champion, I have no choice. I gotta go Zhang Weili on this one.
That's fair enough. And I love that pick as well. But I'm going to go with Yan. I'm going to pull out the upset.
I'm going
to go with her. I think the momentum she's built in the last few fights, she got a TKO stoppage the last time. I love Wayne Zhang. Do not get me wrong. I just think, again, matchups, timing, I think these girls are going to see each other again maybe 2 more times. So I don't think this is over. I just think it's the first chapter in this historic rivalry that we're about to see.
You think we one of these women leave the octagon with a ginormous egg like this division's familiar with?
I hope not with the former Hall of Famer, about to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, Joanna Young Jacek. I hope not, because that was a weird sight to see. That reminds me of you when you take your hat off.
Oh, whoa.
We got the light heavyweight championship on the line as Alex Pereira takes on Jamal Hill. Griff, I'm not saying anything in particular.
You cannot be. No, I see what you're saying.
But I'm going for Hill.
Are you serious? You serious?
That is a heart attack.
Wow.
First off, remember how I was breaking down the fight earlier?
Yeah.
I gave plenty of good reasons why Hill can win this.
Okay.
But then, there's the obvious.
I guess
I'm the obvious. Going for an American.
All right. I mean, I'm sorry. I can't bet against the aura of this man. This man has taken the UFC by storm since he first got into the promotion. He's just too scary. He's too powerful. I guarantee you, after this, down the line, he's going to be fighting for another belt in the heavyweight division eventually at some point. I wouldn't be surprised to see it. He's taking everything. It's like, Connor said back in the day, we didn't come here to take part. We came here to take over. And this is what exactly what Alex Pereira is here to do. He's going to defend the belt, and the division is just going to be ran by that stone-faced Poatan, man.
Be so unfortunate if somebody who used to hold that title had different plans and played the spoiler and just came in and just said, not today, buddy. We shall see.
We will see.
Let's dive into these prelim cards real quick. We're not going to spend as much time on them. Still respect to the fighters, but we are going to cut through these for the show.
That's what happens when you
we have main eventing. The prelims on ESPN and ESPN Plus will be light heavyweight former champion Yuri Prochazka. They have 12 former champions on here.
Yes, they do.
2 current, 10 current. That's crazy.
It's insane.
Crazy. Yuri Prochazka is one of them. Great dude, by the way. Taking on Alexander Rakic. Stop making a racket from Austria.
Yep, the number 2 light heavyweight Yuri Prochazka taking on the number 5 ranked Alexander Rakic.
Quick breakdown and give us your pick.
Quick breakdown. This is exactly what the number 2 contender needs to have if he wants to get back in title contention. He just lost to Poatan. Now he's going to take on the number 5th ranked guy in the division. 2 very monstrous men, 2 very dangerous, scary men. One of them rocking that antenna like you see that jumps on the letters in a Pixar movie. That's always parked on top of his head. I think it gives him antenna for special powers. Who knows?
Let him know what his opponent's about to do.
Absolutely. So I think this is a great bout. I'm excited for it. I'm always excited to see Yuri. It's always a good time when Yuri gets into the octagon. So I don't know, man. What are your thoughts before we decide
You got to give your pick, man. You can't
you
break
want
it
me to
down
go
to
first?
me. You got to give your pick.
All right, my pick right here. I'm going to say Yuri, boy. I'm going to say Yuri gets this one and probably gets maybe one more after this, another victory. He's right back there. He's right back there looking for Peloton.
I like Yuri as well because I took a picture with him and he seemed like a cool dude. So I'm going to go with Yuri Prochazka as well. Alexander, no disrespect. I do believe he has a future in this division to really make some noise, as you mentioned.
No doubt.
I just think this one, he's going to run into somebody with more experience, more headlining, more big stage experience than him, and he's just going to run into a juggernaut of a Yuri trying to get back to where he should be in the title picture.
Absolutely.
We also got Calvin Kattar welcoming a former champion to the new division, Aljamain Sterling, the Funkmaster, making his featherweight debut. Boy, he's taking on Calvin Kattar. This is going to be a tough one. I love this because, again, you've done everything you could at one division. Move up. Give yourself a chance to start a new chapter in your career, new challenges, new motivation. Aljamain Sterling is doing it. I think with an impressive victory here, he can jump shot into a title picture right away because, again, or at least against Alexander Volkanovski again, just because who else is here that I need to go through? I need to win 3, 4, 5 fights here? No. I'm the Funkmaster. But boy, oh boy, if there was somebody to meet you at the gates into this brand new atmosphere, Calvin Kattar is one hell of an introduction. It's no guarantee. That son of a gun right there, boy, can scrap. He's tough. He's fiery. He's got tremendous heart. You know he's going to come in with a stiff game plan. He's going to come in there looking to either push the pressure. I don't know if he's going to want to go to the ground with Aljamain Sterling. Aljamain is taking down an Olympic gold medalist, grapplers, wrestlers. So I don't know if he want to go to the ground. If this stands on the feet, Kattar is going to definitely give Aljamain Sterling something to think about.
This fight is giving me flashbacks of another guy who was a champion of division, tried to move up, and we still are yet to see how Usman does. Maybe he goes back to welterweight, stays at middleweight. But I'm scared for Aljamain. I'm scared for him, especially like you said. They are not doing him any favors by making him this first fight in a new division. Calvin Kattar. Are you serious?
What do you do to y'all?
What did Aljamain do to y'all, man? He was a good champion, man. But yeah, the backpack specialist, like you said, I especially after what happened with his last bout, losing the belt to O'Malley and getting clocked the way he did, I can just see Aljamain really fighting to make sure this goes to the ground, get the fight going in his wheelhouse, make sure he's not doing the whole I can strike too. Nah, screw that, brother. This ain't the time for that anymore. We're past that. Now it's time. If you want to keep your momentum, if you want to keep anything that you had when you did have the belt back at bantam, you need to get a victory. And I mean, when it gets Calvin Kattar, phenomenal. I'm excited to see who he would be paired up to if he were to win this fight. But yeah, I'm sorry. I am going to have to go with Calvin Kattar. I also got a chance to meet the man, took a picture with him.
Yeah, we both did.
Humbling.
I met Aljamain Sterling too.
Yeah, when you're about, you did?
Years ago when I used to when they used to have the open workouts at the MGM.
Okay.
He stand out to the side, and at first I was like, "Yo, who's my man over here with the flat top?" Because everyone's walking around. So
flat top was fire.
When everyone cleared out, I looked. I was like, "Yeah, that's Funkmaster." And then I was like, "Is it Aljamain? Is it like I was trying to remember how to say his first name?" So I just said, "Yo, Funkmaster, mind if I get a pic with you?" He's like, "Right on, man." I was like, "Dude, you cool as shit, man." Cool. So it's always cool to meet these fighters. But I'm going for Aljamain Sterling. I'm going for Aljamain Sterling in this one. If he wins, I wouldn't mind seeing him and Brian Ortega go at it, though. Talking about two grappling legends. Backpack specialist. Let's go, baby.
That's a beautiful fight. I like that a lot. Speaking
of beautiful fights, the next one is an extremely beautiful fight. As we said earlier, there's somebody else coming from a different promotion who established herself. So now going up against a former champion makes sense. Former women's champion Holly Holm says back into the octagon to take on and welcome to the UFC former PFL winner, former two-time Olympic judo gold medalist.
Yep.
Kayla Harrison.
Kayla Harrison
coming to the UFC. Finally, Kayla has come to the UFC.
It's a beautiful matchup.
It's a beautiful matchup. We talk about styles makes fights. This couldn't have been any better. Holly Holm, the boxer, the kickboxer, the moving around specialist.
Farmer's daughter.
Now she's taking on Kayla Harrison, who says, "Come here. Let me show you something real quick." Jean LaBelle couldn't have been prouder. I mean, he had Ronda Rousey, but this is a very interesting matchup. Someone we interviewed, and it's on the Main Event's YouTube page for Franchise Sports Media, Chris Cyborg is in the corner training with Holly Holm for this fight. Her and Harrison were supposed to meet up, but that couldn't work out. So maybe there is something there, but Holmes, Harrison, I love this matchup. Judo grappling specialist taking on a striker. It's a matchup as old as day in the UFC. Grappler versus striker. How do you see this one playing out?
I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Just the matchup alone for Holly Holm, especially because you got a lot of these people out here in UFC media, or even just people with social media accounts who talk a lot of mess about Holly Holm. Yeah. Talk a lot of mess about her, talking about why are we still seeing her? Why is she still taking up a space on a card? Yeah. Don't be disrespectful. This is the farmer's daughter. This is Holly Holm. This is a former champion. She is greatness in person, watching anytime she walks into that octagon. And now that she's taking on a girl in Kayla Harrison, who's got the hype, coming from another promotion, coming over, this fight is going to be exciting no matter who you're rooting for. I'm really excited to see it. I really think Holly Holm, especially after we talked with Chris Cyborg, the training that she said she did, the way she talked about Holly and how she feels like she has she looks great in the camp they've been doing. I'm really excited for it. I think striker. I mean, I'm a fan. I'm a man who is a fan of a striker who went up against a grappler, and that blew up in my face awfully. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna just say for this one, because my love for her and because of the disrespect a lot of you show, I'm going Holly Holm with this one.
Interesting. And don't get me wrong, I'm going for Harrison in this one. I just think she has a skill set right now that unless you stick to your game plan, mm-hmm. it's going to be hard to stop her. And she's one of those, like you said earlier with Aljamain, stick to what you know right here. This is not the one where you want to say, oh, let me show you guys how I've been working on my striking. Not against Holly Holm. Holly Holm, despite losing 17 title matches, she's been tough as hell in damn near all of them. I think Nunez is the only one where she, because she got knocked out. Every other one went to the decision, or at least was close to it. Yeah. Holmes is a gamer, and she's a perfect test for someone like Harrison to first come here. Oh, so you think you can play with the big girls, huh? Let's see how you do against one of our best and bigger girls here. You get past her, now we can talk about putting you further up on the card. I love it, but I do think Harrison is going to be able to grab her, put her down to the ground, and use her strength against her. One thing we've seen with Holly Holm in past fights, Cyborg, Jermaine Durandamy, and Nunez, when she takes on fighters who are physically stronger than her, sometimes she can struggle. Now, granted, those three young ladies are extremely well at striking. Mm-hmm. Harrison, not so much. How would that be any different? We will see, but I am picking Harrison in this particular one. Not by a lot, though.
I like it. Just for the sake of time, and because we do want to indulge into some other news, let's kind of we'll briefly just mention the next few fights. Talk about the opening fights. So following the opening fight to open up the prelims, you got Sodiq Yusuff versus Diego Lopez. I like Diego. Diego's
I'm going
cool.
for Sodiq.
You going for Sodiq?
Let's do it.
I'm going Diego. We got and then headlining the early prelims, Jalen Turner versus Renato Miocano.
I'm taking Turner.
Taking Turner?
I'm taking Jalen Turner in this one. I like his style, and I like his aggressiveness. I like to see what Turner can do with this one. Use this to catapult to other victories.
I like it. I'm going same thing. I'm going Jalen Turner. Then we got Jessica Andrade versus Jessica Andrade, the number 5th rank, going against number 6, Marina Rodriguez in a women's strawweight bout.
Man, oh man. Jessica Andrade put my girl Mackenzie Dern in a bad light for striking. But how can you go against Andrade? Strong, aggressive, good with the grappling, but also fierce on the feet. I got to go with the former champion here, Andrade.
I think I'm actually going to go Marina Rodriguez on this one.
I like that.
I think so. I like her last bouting. I think she's a mean mofo.
I like it. Can I do this one?
Absolutely.
So we got in the lightweight, we got Bobby Knuckles. Not Bobby Knuckles. He's not Bobby Knuckles.
He's not Bobby. No, that's Robert Whittaker.
That's Robert Whittaker. But no, we got Killer Mean Green Bobby Green.
Mean Green Bobby Green.
He's taking on, and I'll say it because I don't think Bruce Buffer's going to be able to say it because he's going to be on a prelim of the ESPN. But he's going to be taking on Jim motherfucking Miller. Who? This is UFC 300, right?
Yep.
Jim Miller was on UFC 100.
He was.
He was on UFC 200.
You're correct.
And now he's on UFC 300.
He keeps coming back.
He's coming back. Jason.
He really
I'll tell you what, though. In all seriousness, you got to respect the man's consistency, longevity, and the fact that he's still able to go out there and fight. 100, 300. Impressive.
54 fights on this man's record. I mean, just you go back and look at those posters from the UFC 100, UFC 200. There's a lot of guys and gals on those posters. They haven't fought in forever. And Jim Miller said, "Hey Dana, I'm pretty sure Jim Miller reached out and said, Dana, I want to be on this card. I want to continue this streak."
I was already in the first two. Yeah, I was already in the first two.
It'd be heartbreaking if he's still on 400. I hope you're not still fighting.
At that point, you got to say, "Hey Jim, man, it's kind of cool, but it's pretty sad."
You got to stop.
Just hang it up, Jim.
I like it though. That's a cool a cool vet versus vet fight.
Oh, very much so. And that's one of those where you could just say, hey, forget about winning for a title shot. I know they want to. Forget about winning for a title shot. Forget about trying to move up in the rankings. Just scrap.
Just scrap.
With each other. Talking about scrapping. To open up the entire card, will be former champions in the bantamweight division, Davison Figueiredo, taking on Cody Garbrandt. 2 strikers, and man, oh man, letters going to be thrown. Somebody's going to go night-night.
They are.
I'm going for Figueiredo.
You going Figueiredo?
Now, you know what? Sorry, I'm going for Cody.
Really?
I'm serious, man.
I was about to agree with you.
I'm going with Cody. I know his chin is suspect.
It is.
No whatever. But his hand power and his speed that he throws, dude, all he needs to do is tag you one time. And it don't have to be a full-on strike. He hit you one time, I'm going Cody.
You know, Figueiredo's only been knocked out one time.
You know,
He's only lost one time by decision and one time by submission.
How many times has he fought Cody?
0.
Okay then.
Okay
then.
All right.
Don't talk to me like I don't know.
I'm just saying. I mean, Cody Garbrandt. All respect to him. Again, probably the most disrespectful performance in defeating a champion I've ever seen when he fought Dominic Cruz. But I got to go Davison Figueiredo. This is a move up from when he was at old flyweight, now at bantamweight. I think he comes out here, looks pretty decent, looks pretty good, and who knows? Maybe he gets up there with all them boys up there at bantamweight.
It's very possible. But I think Cody's going to welcome him in a way that he didn't want to be welcomed.
Ooh.
So let's get into some other news real quick as we wrap it up here. We'll start with this one, very low note. My guy, John Jones, once again in trouble at drug testers come by the house. I believe they were unannounced. And there's video footage. Take with that what you will, but he gets arrested for threatening them and approaching them in an aggressive manner. We'll see how all this plays out, but it's just one of those where you just say, again. And it's like, if you remember, you probably didn't see it because you're not a movie guy, but like the movie Liar Liar with Jim Carrey.
I saw
and
that.
He picks up the phone. Stop breaking the law, asshole. John, you know I love you, man, but come on. Just wrap it up. If you have any thoughts, just wrap it up very quick because we got to get to the next one.
It wouldn't be the UFC if John Jones wasn't a champion of a division and just absolutely getting into shenanigans outside of the cage. That's all I got to say.
Gotcha. Now, this week for the UFC 300 press conference, they are going to have all fighters up there because there's so many former champions, future Hall of Famers. All fighters are going to be up there, but there's rumors, Uncle Dana might have give us a little spoiler of a potential big fight announcement. There are going to be some good things.
Yep.
A fight announcement. I believe there's a big card going on this summer. Some fighters need to finally square off against each other. And then also there's rumors going around that they might be bringing in new gloves for the UFC. We just saw in a fight night, Chris Weidman got a victory, but the eye pokes, 2 in a row. Awful, it's bad. We've seen it throughout the UFC. We've been complaining about it for years. What are your thoughts that the UFC does go with new gloves?
It's well needed. You got people in the MMA world like Trevor Whitman, one of the better coaches out there in MMA. He's been fighting for years saying that the UFC needs to change their gloves, the eye pokes, all that is caused by the design of the current stated gloves. And so I wouldn't be mad at it at all. I don't know, you see a lot of like in other sports, like in the NFL, when teams like change their colors or change up the design of their jerseys, a lot of fans get mad because of the nostalgia of it all. I don't think you're going to see anybody be like, oh, why are we changing the gloves? This is stupid. This is soft liberal, whatever they want to say. But I think it'd be well needed. And if we can stop these guys and girls from losing their sight and having the awful, anybody who looks at that picture of Chris Weidman, his eyeball is completely blackened. It's awful, man. Like, who cares? Whatever the reason, whatever we got to do, let's do it. I'm with it.
Yeah, I'm all about trying to say, hey, how can we eliminate these things? It's part of the game. But again, there's been other fight leagues and other ways out there shown that, hey, this could help lower the percentage of them, help the risk, and help the safety of the fighters in there. So hopefully it is new gloves, but there is a certain fight announced.
Yeah.
Between a former champion
and
a former title contender. Finally meeting up with each other after they were supposed to meet last year. After this certain former champion was supposed to come back 7 years ago. As he was supposed to come back 11 years ago. But he been off doing a whole bunch of other things. Granted, more power and respect to you. But I'm excited to find out who it is. I'm not going to give it away. Because we don't know.
We don't know.
But he did hint at a certain Conor McGregor coming back. Taking on Michael Chandler. All I'm saying is this is the perfect layout for it. All eyes will be on you.
Yeah.
It's the biggest event right now, the biggest press conference in a long time. It'll be huge. It'll be huge. They have a big crowd up there.
Beautiful
I walked
dogs.
in there and I said, wow, what a big crowd.
What a beautiful
it'll be awesome to see.
Beautiful
how
dogs.
It goes there. Beautiful dogs.
I
Crybaby Chandler is what we call them. But anyways, that's it. That's enough. That's enough. 'Cause
I will say, at this point, you and I have been doing this show for almost, over 2 years now? It's been a while now. I've enjoyed every moment of it. But I will tell you, I have not enjoyed the scrutiny I have received because of my support for that man. And I'm not saying I'm taking it away. He will have my support. And when the announcement is made, you and I will potentially be at that press conference. Yeah. I will be there screaming and shouting and crying like every girl who's at a Taylor Swift concert. I will be there.
Recording you.
Yes, you will. Yeah. I'm excited for it. But please, Dana, you posted the walkout of Conor coming out on your Instagram story. Conor then posts something about saying coming soon. There's so much teasing. There's so much anticipation. Please, just give us a date. Give us a date. I don't care if they fight at bantamweight. I don't care if they fight at a new division where they can both be 300 pounds. Just make the announcement. Give it to us. Please, please. That's all I got to say.
With that, we're wrapping up another edition of the main event here. We went a little extra because of UFC 300, but that's what's needed for such a big card. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Go to franchisesportsmedia.com for all the enjoyment, and not just combat sports, but all sports in general. This is
Griff and Kemp.
I'm Kalani. Till next time, fight fans.
Peace.